everybody! So in one of my previous videos, I promised that I would share the story about how I met my husband, and today, here it is. You know that feeling when you see someone for the first time and you get butterflies in your stomach and you feel like, oh my god, if he speaks to me, I'm gonna go crazy. And when they actually speak to you, you feel like, oh my god, I have to marry this person. You know that feeling? Well, it wasn't the case for us. It was nothing close to love at first sight. Here is how it all started. So just to take you back a little bit, my husband was sent by his company to Uganda to finish a project. When he was told he was coming to Uganda, he went to the internet and Googled this country to just know more about the place he's going, the people, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, when he Googled, he saw good things and bad things, but paid more attention to the bad things. So he saw things like Ebola, cholera outbreaks that had taken place in the country, wars in the northern side of the country. So he was thinking, oh my god, I cannot go to this country. It can't be me. No, not me. And he tried to get out of it, but his company told him, listen, you're the best guy for the job, so you have to go. And so he came to Uganda. Now, I didn't meet him the first times he came. He came about 3 times before we actually met. And here is how we met. So while at the university, I was part-timing at this casino that had an Italian restaurant attached to it. So many Italians used to come to the restaurant and then go through the casino to exit. This was like the 3rd time my husband was in the country when we actually met. So he used to come to the casino, apparently, but I didn't even notice him. Neither did he notice me. Like, he didn't pay any attention to the girls because he just wanted to be in the country to work and leave. He spent most of his time in the hotel anyway, where he felt it was safer. And this one time, he came to the casino, to the restaurant, and then through the casino with his colleague. His colleague saw my friend, my colleague, and he liked her. He came to our desk, the front desk where we used to work, to, chit chat and maybe ask her out on a date. So my husband was just next to him when he was asking my colleague out for a date, and she said yes, and they went out. The second time he passed by our desk to ask her for a second date, and this time he suggested that I come along. He's like, oh, your friend Linda should come along and keep my friend busy because he's usually in the hotel and he's not doing anything anyway. So I thought to myself, it's free food in a good restaurant. Why not? I'll go for the date. No interest whatsoever. My husband didn't have any interest in me at all at that time. So we're just, going to hang out, pass time. So we went to this really nice restaurant, a French restaurant. And what happened is me and my husband had much more conversation than these guys who invited us. They were silent for the bigger part, They were just, staring at each other and, getting into conversation with us. But then we were really talking, me and my husband. He talks a lot. I talk a lot. So it was just talking. We thought it was nice. We thought the date went really well, and we planned to meet again. All this time, no interest whatsoever. I'm just thinking, this guy has, good conversation, and he's thinking, okay, instead of staying in the hotel, I may as well go and have, a meal, a coffee, or, a chit chat with this girl. And that's how we ended up going for our second date. On our second date, I actually took a friend along. That's how not interested I was. And he had no problem with it. It was really casual. So we're like, okay, let's go, the 3 of us. We had dinner, then from dinner we had a drink at a bar. But while we were there, we kept talking and laughing and engaging in all these different conversations. After the date, my friend told me, there's something about you and that guy. And I'm thinking, something between me and that guy? No, I don't see him like that at all. I don't know what my husband was thinking at that time, but we were really not looking at each other in that way. But then we thought that we were cool. Like, he thought I was cool, I thought he was cool, and it was nice. Hanging out was really nice. So we exchanged contacts, and at that time we were using Yahoo Messenger and Skype. and we kept in touch. He left the country, he came back to Italy, but he said he was going to be coming back to finish this project he was doing. He wasn't really living in Italy, in Uganda. He just come around for few days and then he would leave. So we kept in touch, and when he left, we were talking almost every day, like on Messenger. Hey, how are you doing? He would tell me what he's doing, I'll tell him what I'm doing, and you know, we'd share conversations. And then he kept coming back to Uganda for work, and each time he would come to Uganda, we would meet and laugh, go for a swim, all very casual, nothing sexual, nothing intimate. But then I could tell that we were getting really close with him, but I was still not looking at him in that way. And he wasn't looking at me in that way either. Okay, just to give you a laugh, my husband's ideal girl at that time, or back then, was a tall girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm clearly not anything like that. And then I didn't even have an ideal guy. I was just a young girl at the university, having fun, meeting guys, checking out this one, checking out that one. So we really weren't looking for a relationship or anything like that. Anyway, when he came back to the country, I started to take him along, like when I'm going to hang out with my friends, I would ask him if he wants to come. We would go out dancing, we would go out drinking. This one time my sister was in town and we were having a meal. I thought, you know, it would be nice if he came along, and then he came, he met my sister, he met my friends. Still not looking at him like a guy I want to have a relationship with. I'm looking at him like, you know, a nice guy. So slowly we started talking more. We started talking about more intimate stuff. But you see, the thing is, I like to talk. If I have a good connection with someone, like just friends, I'll talk. I'll open up slowly and bit by bit. And that's what I was doing. I wasn't looking at this guy like a potential partner. So anyway, we keep talking, we keep chatting. He comes back to the country, he brings me a perfume sometimes, he brings me flowers sometimes, and I'm thinking, okay, this guy is nice. Or maybe this guy likes me. And this one evening we were having dinner, and then we stayed in the restaurant and kept talking until they told us, guys, we have to close. This used to happen almost all the time. Like every time we would go out, we would talk and talk and talk, and would be the last people to leave the restaurant. Then he would drop me home and say bye, and that was it. So this one time we went for dinner at the hotel where he was staying, and then he walked me to my workplace because I had to be at work that evening. So while we were walking to work, we were holding hands. I felt something different, you know, not the usual way I feel about someone I'm hanging out with casually. And so when he dropped me off at work, we said goodbye, and just like that, we had our first kiss. It was a bit awkward, but it was nice and weird. So after the kiss, we said, okay, bye. And then we all just walked the other way. That was interesting. But then we kept texting, and then we thought that was the beginning of our relationship. That's the day we marked as the beginning of our relationship. And from that day, it was all bliss afterwards. You see, I had never ever met someone who loved me the way my husband did. And I remember very well when I told my mom that my husband asked me to marry him. She asked me, are you sure he's the one? My mom always saw me like a baby, even way after school. She just looked at me like a baby, maybe because I'm the last girl. So she asked me, are you sure? I told her, you know what? I've been with a few guys.
Not so many.
But no one has put me first the way this guy has. No one has loved me the way this guy has. So I think he's the one. And so we planned to get married, and we went on vacations. He showed me around the world. He took me to my dream destination. You know, I've always dreamt about Paris, and while we were dating, I told him, while we were getting to know each other, I told him if I could visit one place, it will be Paris and the Eiffel Tower. I can't imagine ever being there. So when he invited me to come to Europe to visit him, he told me, oh, by the way, tomorrow we're going to Paris. I was like, no way, you're kidding. He was like, no. You said you wanted to go to Paris, right? Yeah, so we go to Paris. And he took me to Paris, which was my dream destination. And he took me to all the places I ever wanted to go to. So it was amazing. It was really amazing, and just like that, we've been together for it's coming to 7 years. We have 2 wonderful babies that drive us crazy. And yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you how he told me he loved me. So while we were talking and dating, and he was in and out of the country, this one time he was away for work in Russia, and he had a little bit too much to drink. And so he called me. I think he drunk dialed me. And he asked me how I'm doing and everything. I was like, yeah, I'm good, I'm okay. He said, okay, listen, today I want to tell you something. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, what's up? He said, I think I love you. I said, what? So at that time, I didn't see him as a boyfriend. He was just a guy I was getting really close to, but I didn't think we were there. So I told him, listen, I don't take those words casually. I take them very, very seriously. So don't tell me you love me, okay? Just don't tell me you love me. And he was like, but I think I love you. I think I'm in love with you. And I told him, you know what? I think you've had too much to drink, so just go and dress, and then we'll have this conversation again tomorrow. And I hung up on him, and he kept texting me, telling me, I love you, I love you. I still have those texts. I love you, I love you, I love you. And then the next day, I told him, listen, yesterday you were saying some really crazy shit. So I just want us to be clear. So I told him, listen, don't use those words. Don't say such things. We have a good thing going on here. We are friends. We have good conversation. So why are you telling me you love me? And then he told me, I'm telling you I love you because I love you. I was like, okay, thanks. And I just left it there. But then he kept telling me, I'm in love with you, Linda, and I'm falling in love with you more and more every day. And I kept thinking,
why is he saying this stuff?
Okay, I took the words I love you so seriously. I still do. So for someone to just tell me they love me just like that, I feel like,
no, don't say things like that.
Anyway, I told him I loved him after several weeks, and this time I felt like, oh my god, this guy he's it. He's the real deal. I love this man. And from then on, we've grown and grown and grown in love. If there's any moral in our love story, I think it would be to be patient and open-minded. Sometimes love comes in a way that we least expect it. My husband never thought that he would come to Africa for work. He would come to this place where he's afraid of everything, to this place where he just wants to work and live. And he would meet the mother of his children, he would meet his future wife. He had no idea. 7 years ago, if you told him he was going to go to Africa and meet an African girl and marry her, he would be like, come on. Like, seriously. And the first time I saw my husband and the first time we had all these conversations, my friends know, people who are really close to me, I was like, no, he's not really my type, or I don't see myself with him. But then we grew in love. We didn't fall in love. We grew in love, and I think that was really special because every day our love grows, because it's not the kind of love that just came. it's a kind of love we grew into. So if you're out there and you're waiting on love and you're looking for love, you'll be surprised to find that you're looking that way and God has planned your love the other way. Be open-minded, get to know people, and and then another thing, don't have a list of your ideal partner, because there's no such thing as an ideal partner. I'm telling you, there's no such thing. You have a list of things you want your partner to have that are important. Very good. You need to have, everyone has a preference. Everyone has things that are important to them. So we all have a list of things we want in a partner. And I'm not saying we should settle, but then there are things that are more important than others. So if you put irrelevant issues on the top of your list, you're gonna end up missing out on some really, really, really good people. So I think it's important that while you make the list of your ideal partner, you're a bit flexible, as long as it's not going so out of what you really want in a partner, or it's not going out of the core values, like the things that are really important to you. Then be open, be flexible. Your partner can come in a form, in a package that you least expect. I hope you enjoyed my love story, and share with me your love stories. I really love listening to love stories, all types of love stories. So share with me your love story, and see you in my next one. Bye bye.